There we go. I think. Okay. OBS. Wasn't me. Okay, so interesting thing about this file is I don't know if Jacob just didn't have like what is this syntax highlighting that tells them whether they're using certain things or not, but we'll see. So we'll move forward with that. We'll get this file. Essentially, what this should do is create a script that is going to well, let's read through it. I don't know, man. I'm doing the best I can. All right. So what it's going to do is process current working directory. I don't know if that's the way to do it with ES modules, but maybe it is. So we're going to get, yes, SVG icons is not where I put it. I put it in current working directory plus source plus SVG icons. Okay, then what this is going to do, input directory relative, it's going to build out the relative path, output directory, and it's going to output into app. No, I want that to be source component icons. I'll see where this goes. I'll have to figure this out. Files is going to grab everything inside of the input directory that ends with .svg. It's going to sort them for some reason. I don't know why that's relevant. Might get rid of that. If files length equals 0, no SVG file. Okay, fine. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense. Next, compile icons into a single sprite sheet. So instead, okay. Okay, I see. So we are going to use everything else. This is also going to go in the same file, I imagine. So after all that, there we go. Now everything is being used. What about you? You're being used? Yep. So we need this node HTML parser as well. Cool. Now, no more complaints. I don't know what this complaint is. ESLint TypeScript thing. If only I knew someone that could help me with that. Okay, so then what this is going to do, top level await, very nice. It's going to sprite sheet content. Take the files that we have and the input directory and generate SVG sprites, which is going to take all that stuff. It's going to create the symbols from all of these promises, which takes all of the files, maps over all of the files in that directory, reads the file, makes sure it's an SVG, renames it to a symbol, changes or adds adds or modifies the ID on that symbol to be the file name, removes a bunch of things, trims it, does some optimization. I think I might actually modify this to include SVGO, which is an SVG optimizing library. And then it returns the SVG definition that we had. Now this only needs to be a file. So it's going to be an SVG file with definitions with all of the symbols that we created. And that's that. Okay. Next, create React component that displays an icon. I don't need to do that. There are two ways to host an asset. Okay, so this was for remix, but public folder, yes, or import it as a module, and it will be hashed and fingerprinted and served from build folder. We cache it indefinitely. That's a good point. Every time we add new icons to an existing one, remix will serve it, yes, with a different hash. Okay, so let's see how Jacob's SVG component compares to mine. So if I run this, right, this is the component. This I don't need. Sprite href, okay. Right. Got it. Icon is going to take a name, is going to take all the props. This is a JSX component, so don't need all that. It's going to take a name, cool, which is a string. Don't need that. Don't need that. Okay, name is used. Looks very similar to mine. A couple other things going on in mine that are different. Oop, this view box. I think this view box should not even be there. Cool. Great. Doesn't look like much has changed there, but I do need to get that file. Now, how are you generating this file? Create a file called buildicons.ts. Where is this actually being run again? Okay, there we go. Generate types of icons. Okay, that's what we just did. No, we did not do this part. Okay, this is as far as we got, right? This is the component, great. Cool, one thing at a time. You can use the component like this, sounds great. Now, we can improve the developer experience of the icons by providing a list of available icons in the type of name attribute. Right, so if the user hasn't run, the icon component will fail to find generated. Before we generate the types, let's handle the case where icons have not been generated yet. Create a new file called name.ts. Names.ts. Okay, so I think app components / icons. That's where the built files should go. So I need to figure out where my built files are going to go. We'll go source component / icons. Sure. And inside of there, we'll add another one called names.t. What is it? Names.ts. Okay. And then, okay, we'll do that. Export type icon name. Come to the file and push it to your repo. And make sure that changes of this file are ignored by Git. Isn't enough because we've already committed on. So we can use okay. Git update index skip work tree. Okay. I don't know why I need that. I don't think I actually need that. Or I think for this process I probably need that, but I'm going to modify the process, so I'm not going to do that. Update the icon component to use the new type. Yes, got that. Okay. This needs to happen. Oops. Oh no. Okay, easy enough to fix. But this needs to happen inside of here. So that's going to happen eventually. And I accidentally closed the page that I was on. Burp, burp, burp. Let's go here. Okay. So, run the script automatically. So, I do want to add this. TSX, I'm not sure I'm actually using TSX. I'm not sure I'm going to need it by the time I'm done here, but we'll start with it. Package.json, somewhere in here, we'll do next to my other build commands, build icons. And hopefully that'll work. If you try running the file now, you should see generated types. Okay, let's try it. npm run build icons. Oh, really? Ha! There you go. npm run build icons. TSX command not found. So npm id tsx. Again, this will probably be changed back to just JavaScript because me. But let's see. Icons sprite.svg. Cool. Making some progress. What are you trying to install? Build icons should go into that file doesn't exist. Sprite.svg output dir should be source components icons. I guess this needs to be in here. We need to have a sprite.svg that's just empty, perhaps. Cool. Generating sprites for source svg icons. Okay, in theory, that should have put something in here. Nice. Hell yeah. So I've got my definitions. Yeah, okay, cool. So we've got camera. We've got card stack. We've got Desert Eagle. Great. Names. Names needs to be fixed. Trying to decide to generate types in this. Okay, if you try running this file now, you should see the generated types in names.ts, which I do not. Here's all icons you use, but it will not show up in Git as a modified file. I don't see the point of that. I think it should be modified, but okay. Set the post install script in your slide.json file so that it runs automatically when you add new icons. Cool. I'm not using that though. Try using the icon component with an icon you don't have yet, like arrow left. You should get an error in your editor. Then run arrow left, and it should go away instantly. Okay, preload SVG sprite. All right, this gets us so far along the way that I want it to be, but not exactly where I want to end up. So I think I should do this. Let's go into root, and right here I'm just going to like talk about doing that. Leave a little to do, I guess. To do preload SVG icons. Great. Now, what I need is this file. First, let's get actually working. Let's get this actually working. Let's open up SVG. This should no longer work with these definitions, so I'm going to get rid of these. I mean, it should right now still work with them. This stuff I'll come back to, but SVG should actually be using the path to my public folder. So what I want is, instead of icons being generated and sent here, I want in my public folder. No, I think this is what I want. I want to pull it in from here. So this should be components, SVG component should pull in from /components /icons/sprite.svg svg. Let's see, did I get that right? Yeah, nope. Let's see here. I think this stuff is the tricky stuff, because this is where, if you have knowledge of how browsers load assets, you can do like relative paths like this. But because this is actually going to go through a build step, that's not how that's not what the browser is actually going to do. So I need to figure out, so essentially the build step needs to download this asset and then hash it, or like generate a build asset for it, artifact. And the reason why we're doing this way is because of what he says here, which is here. Depending on where you put it. So in this project, this is a quick app. This is going to be where things get kind of more specific to the framework that you're using. I'm using Quick, which follows a lot of shared conventions where you have a source folder, which in theory is your source code. That will not be the production code. It will be something that runs through a build pipeline and gets ejected as production code. But then you also have a public folder, and the public folder is something that is untouched by build tools. And you can do things like, it basically serves as, you can go to your server and go to, what is it, favicon.svg. You're making me look stupid. favicon.svg. I don't think I need to do. No, that should have worked. Oh, there we go. Hey, come on now. What's going on here? Well, something about that isn't working. But anyway, this public folder should be where you can put assets that can be accessed from relative routes, essentially. Hopefully that is also making sense. Any questions on that so far? Can you please just change your type def? No, I'm not changing anything. So the question is, hitting the history cache. I don't think so, but it doesn't matter. That was just, you could see that you can go to that route. So the point being, here, what Jacob's saying is you basically have, and again, Quick also follows apparently the same convention as Remix, as well as other projects where you have this /public folder. Now I could have my generated SVG sprite go in the public folder, and then I can reference it by using the URL path here. So I say my SVG sprite is going to use href, and then just go to /sprite.svg. The benefit of doing things that way is it's easier. The downside of doing things that way is caching issues. So because that file doesn't go through a build step, means that file is going to be output as sprite.svg, which also means that anytime someone downloads that, they'll have it in the cache. And if I change something, if I add a new sprite or remove a new sprite or modify an existing one, it will be cached. And they'll get either the wrong icon or some other issues. The other benefit of using a build pipeline is that a build step will take a file and create a hash name for that file name, or a hash for the file name, based on the contents of that file. And that means if that file ever changes, the hash will change, but the build tooling will be responsible for swapping it out at build time. And that means you can put a cache header setting for that file of indefinitely, like basically cache it forever, because there's only ever going to be one version of that file based on the file contents. Hopefully that makes sense. So that's what I'm going to try and go for. I don't have anything working yet, so hopefully I'm just going to take a peek at his component to see how he has it. Use. That's not what I wanted to see. The sprite href. Okay, so this is how you do it. Yeah, Stony, you could do something with query string parameters to get around caching or do cache busting. That is not as developer friendly, because then developers have to remember to modify the query string or modify the version every time that icon changes, which is not good. So we're going to do this. I'm going to pull this from, and this is something that I think my build tooling should do, which I'm using Vite. I believe this should work. In fact, what I'm going to do is just pop it in here and see. Once I run my dev server. Oh, Stony, you're so smart. The server wasn't running. That's why the icon wasn't loading. I don't know if that's what you were saying, but you're smart. I don't care what everyone else says. So if we go to favicon.svg, boom, there it is. Okay, definitions is not defined. That's right. That's because this is now going to have a complaint. Nope. Let's just go burp. Leave that. So that won't be broken. Okay. And I don't see. No, I do see components icons sprite.svg. That's interesting. Okay. So what if I do that? We're going to put that in here. Right? Something like that. Okay. That is looking for href of that. Open a new tab. Cannot get that. Components, icons. Okay. Let's see. Components, icons, sprite.svg. Interesting. Feels like that should work. Right? Dot slash. Wait. Dot slash. Ah. That should not work. There we go. Sprite.svg. Okay. Still not working. href equals. Okay. That kind of makes sense that it doesn't work. Okay. Okay, cool. That makes sense that it doesn't work. Okay, that does make sense that it doesn't work because now I'm passing in the wrong icon reference. So here, instead of icon eagle, I need desert eagle. Oh, hell yeah. Let's see. Let's see. You modify your HTML in the deploy script to add all preload tags. Nice. Party parrot. That's right. Okay. We got Desert Eagles on the screen. Okay. So now that is working, but we don't have the developer friendly approach yet. This is okay. So now essentially what do we have? We have a source folder that we can drop SVG icons into. And then we have a build command that's going to read the icons out of that folder and put them into an SVG sprite. I guess that makes sense. I guess that's... No, see, I really think that these two files need to live inside of SVG icons. Move. Ah, no, but Sprite can't live there. Because it's going to like pull itself. Okay. Where would the sprite live? No, I think it can. Yeah. We'll do that. Okay. Cool. Now I still need to work on this. What my build icons command needs to do now is this is all working. I don't know why this is here. It doesn't seem to actually do anything. So what I want though is you need to look inside of output. Input and output directory are going to be the same thing. So there we go. I don't think I need you. Don't think I need you. And then output dir is now going to be input dir sprite.svg. It should probably be somewhere else, but that's fine. Icons script.ts. I don't know what you mean icons svg and icons script.ts. We'll get to that. We'll do the like cleanup work in a minute. I want this to actually. I need to get this actually working. I say as I'm in the middle of doing some cleanup work. Okay. What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing with my life? What was I doing? Right. I need to generate the type definitions. Okay. Let's see how did Jacob here handle type definitions? Fallback types. I don't want to do that. Update icon component to use the new type. Yes. Generate types for the icon component. Here we go. Icons folder and using the file name as the key. Go back to build icons. Script from the right after generate svg sprite function. Did I even use the generate types? I bet I didn't even copy this in here. I did not. There you go. Okay, so this is the part that we're missing. And after generate svg sprite. Generate svg sprite. Which is right there. Okay. Output dir. This is also going to be input dir for my sake. Let's see. Let's open up a new